Hi, everybody. It's been a crazy week. I think it's still a crazy week. I'm really grateful right now here in Chicago, where I'm that at least we're having beautiful weather. So it's a great day to get outside and take a walk and just kind of forget about everything else that's happening. We're here today to talk about gratitude and how it impacts your job search. Do you know that having a strong attitude of gratitude and practicing it on a daily basis is absolutely critical to your job search? Why? That seems like a really strong position to take. Had to think about that for a minute. But it's true. All of the research supports it. So the reality is that if we can learn how to be more grateful in our lives overall, we're going to find that we're going to be more successful, not only in our job search, but in our lives. Don't believe me? Just go ahead and Google gratitude and your job search, or gratitude and your resume. You're going to get in the neighborhood of 80 million responses in a matter of just under a second, 53 seconds actually. So there's a lot of people that are involved in the world of helping others get jobs who have a lot of things to say about why gratitude is so important. So one of the leaders of the organization called the Ladders says that appreciating your job, your organization, your coworkers, your clients and or your customers changes your personal energy and how you show up for your daily interactions. Actively sharing appreciation, and this is appreciation of each other, of the work that you do, of the world that we live in. Active appreciation builds stronger and more trusting relationships. And relationships are a key aspect of success. Success not only in business, but success in your personal life too. One of those things that popped up when I Googled the words gratitude and your job search was a TED Talk by David Steindall Rast. And he talked about gratitude and the different things that are involved in gratitude. And he says that you need to document your gratitude, you need to be aware of your gratitude, you need to share your gratitude, you need to journal your gratitude, and you need to express your gratitude. I don't disagree with any of those things, although I kind of would put them in a different order if I was given the talk. But all of those things are important, and I would encourage you to look that up. His name is David Steindall, Steindal, Rast, Rast. And you can find it right here on YouTube or on TED Talk station, internet site. The other thing is that an organization called Top Resumes tells us that when you're thinking about gratitude specifically on a resume and in relationship to a job search, the reality is that there are no failures. There's just learning experiences to be grateful for. And that if you acknowledge and track what's working while you're searching, that you're going to be able to rinse and repeat and do it over and over again, which is why that over time you're going to learn and you're going to do better because you know better. I wonder who said that. You need to stay mindfully grateful so that when you're in a job search situation, whether you're networking with other job seekers, whether you're in an interview situation with a potential employer, you are consciously mindful of the gratitude that you have in your heart for all of the wonderful things that you have in your life. It goes straight to what they said earlier about that energy, the attitude that comes across in that particular moment, that mindful moment. Gratitude is partially about erasing negativity. Negativity is a deep, dark circle that none of us want to go down. None of us wants to find ourselves falling down that rabbit hole. And I know in this day and age, it's really easy to do that. But what we need to remember is that things like gratitude can take us right out of there and remind us to be positive, to be optimistic, to be hopeful. We all need to have hope. And that's one of the things that gratitude allows us to do. It allows us to focus on the prize. We all have a goal. We have many goals. In many cases, for job seekers, it's a job. For other job seekers, it's a better job. And for some job seekers, it's just a different job, maybe a different job that's going to take them in a different direction and allow them to use a different set of strengths, or a job that is going to be more fulfilling to them emotionally so that they're going to get those roses that we talked about on Tuesday, in addition to the bread that everybody needs. Gratitude allows us to celebrate our skills and our strengths. We're all uniquely human people. And so recognizing the things that we have that others don't have, usually the things that we're taking for granted, is a great way for us to be grateful for the things we have and then learn about them so that we can use them in our job situation. So I wanted to start off by telling you that my name is Cynthia Wade, and I founded do-over.me almost 7 years ago because change is hard, especially when your job and maybe even your life don't turn out the way you planned. We get it. The team at do-over.me, we've been there. And along the way, we've developed lots of ways to support you. Some are traditional, like resumes and LinkedIn profiles and interviewing support. And some are unconventional, like improv and conversations about the importance of gratitude. But all of them are focused on action, the action of moving you forward and getting you where you want to go. We bring a holistic approach to job search, providing you with information and opportunities around both hard and soft skills. So, getting back to gratitude and how it actually works in your job search, here's what I would say. First of all, I would say that gratitude in general is made up of awareness. You have to be able to be aware of and recognize all of the things around you, whether it's the fact that the sky is blue or it's raining, whether it's the fact that it's a great sunset or it's snowing. Maybe snowing is what you're grateful for. Whatever it is, you have to be aware of the things around you, which requires you to slow down a little bit and to pay attention. Pay attention to the things that are around you, the environment that you're in, the people that are around you, the four-legged creatures that are around you, how music fills your world, flowers, books, all of those things that are important. You have to be aware of them. And then you have to understand what they're bringing to your life right here and right now. So the fact that there's a beautiful sunset outside, or the sky is brilliantly blue could mean to you that that's one of the things that makes you happy and one of the things that makes you smile. Researchers will all tell us that it's gratitude that makes you happy, not happy that makes you grateful. So if you want to be happier, you need to be more grateful. The third thing that I'd say is you have to acknowledge that thing out there that you're grateful for. You have to be paying enough attention to recognize what it is and what it means to you. And then you have to actually acknowledge it. And the best way, the very best way to acknowledge it is to speak your gratitude out loud. Writing it down in a diary, like everybody suggests, is great. 3 things a day minimum is a great way to get started. But once you've written those things down, speak them out loud. I'm doing it every day publicly during the entire month of November. So if you follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram, you'll see some of the things day by day that I'm grateful for. I hope you'll join me because I've invited you to share the things that you're grateful for too. Well, that's gratitude in general. What about gratitude specifically for the job search? Then you're going to change it up just slightly. So, gratitude for your job search is more focused on you and your individual story. So, that awareness and recognition that I talked about, it's not about what's outside of you, it's about what's inside of you. And this is where self awareness is so critical. We are all unique individuals with a unique set of skills to bring to the table, but we can't be thankful for them if we don't even recognize that we're there, that they are there, excuse me. So, the most important thing here is to think about yourself. Think about how you are uniquely different. And it often is hard because sometimes we are uniquely different in ways that we aren't even paying attention to anymore because we take them so much for granted. So when you think about your strengths and how you're uniquely different, think about the things that people compliment you on. Think about the things that people come and ask you for advice on. Those are going to be the things that you need to be aware of as your individual gifts, skills, and strengths. Next thing, that understanding, you need to understand not only what those gifts are, but how you use them and what kind of an impact they have on the world around you. And this is where you start to think about the other people that circle the world with you in your little corner of it, and how do the things that are uniquely your gifts impact those people. And this is where work comes in, because many times the individual skills and gifts and strengths that we have, we bring into our work environment. And in that environment, we contribute to the overall success of our team and our company. This is particularly important when you're trying to put together your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and practice your interviewing skills. Because what a future employer wants to understand is, what is the environment and what is the skill set that you most naturally are going to be bringing to the table? And how does that impact the kind of positions that they have open right now? What you're trying to do as the person that's trying to get that job is to show that employer exactly how you recognize where their challenges are, and that you have the unique gifts and skills and talents in order to be able to come into their environment and to effect change, so that those challenges that they're facing today are gone when you come in and start to work with the company. In doing this, what you're doing is acknowledging and then speaking out loud as you share your story, either in written form in your resume and your LinkedIn profile, or orally when you're on the phone or face to face or a Zoom like this doing an interview. That's your story. And that's how recognizing, because you're grateful for the things that are uniquely you, can translate into a really positive story that you can tell throughout your marketing materials and in your interview, so that you are going to be able to convince a future employer that you are the right person for that job. Now, here at do-over.me, we recommend a couple of tools to be able to do this more successfully. So, under the overarching concept of gratitude and being aware of it, understanding it, acknowledging it, and then speaking it out loud when you're telling your story, what we want to try to ask you to think about is car statements and strengths finders. So there's a lot of different assessments out there on the market. Most of them, many of them, are available at no charge on the internet. But the one that we like the most here at do-over.me is from the Gallup organization in Omaha, Nebraska. And that's called the Clifton or Gallup Strengths Finders. They've been working at this for a number of years with millions of people across the entire country, and they've got it down to a very replicable and very accurate science. So for $19.99, unfortunately this one isn't free, you can go on to their website and get an assessment done. And you're going to get a profile of your top 5 assessments. There are 34 in total, but we recommend, as does the organization itself, that you start off with the top 5, because understanding and wrapping your mind around that is going to be enough of a piece to bite off and chew before you worry about all 34 of them. So if you haven't done this already, go on to the Gallup Strengths Finders website and take the assessment. And then go back and look in September. We spent the entire month of September focused on naming, claiming, and unleashing your personal strengths. So there's going to be some videos up in the library of some information that you can use to learn how to translate that information into both your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and then into your interview stories. The other tool that we recommend is more proprietary, and you'll find some recruiters, if you have had the experience of working with a recruiter, are going to be familiar with this. In my world at do-over.me, we call them CAR statements. That's C for challenge, A for action, R for result. It's a process that we ask everyone to go through before we start to work with them, when we ask them to think about what kinds of challenges have they been given in their career, what actions have they taken in response to those challenges, and what results have they seen. A lot of times what you're going to see then is how in the action part of that, you're going to pull your strengths from Gallup Strengths Finders into how you're acting, what kinds of changes you're making, what kind of procedures you're taking, and systems you're setting up in order to affect this change. And then, of course, the results are what happens. And that's where the pain goes away. You know, the challenge that the future employer, or in this particular situation, your existing employer gave you, are now gone because you've successfully met the challenge that they gave to you. Really, really important to have this nailed. And the more numbers you can use, the more effective those statements become. So you don't want to just give a flat out statement like, I'm a really great communicator. You want to say, I have been a TEDx speaker. I have been president of my association and had to run monthly meetings and also be the keynote speaker at their yearly annual event. I have directed a group internally at the office, and I have been responsible for running the meetings and sending out all of the communication for the meetings, the people that are involved in the meetings. That's how you learn to prove that you are, in fact, a great communicator. So those car statements and those strengths statements allow you to dig deep and understand what you personally have to be grateful for, because gratitude does make a difference. Join us next week on the 10th, which I think is Tuesday, and get a better understanding from us about the research behind gratitude. This is not just pie in the sky stuff that we're making up, woo woo stuff here. This is real, and very established researchers and scientists across the world are doing this kind of research and telling us how important gratitude is. So join us, and we're going to dig a little bit into that on Tuesday, the 10th. And then also join us on Wednesday, the 11th at noon. I'm not sure what time on Tuesday. You have to take a look at the calendar, which we'll talk about in a minute. But on Wednesday, the 11th at noon, we're going to dig into one of my absolute all-time favorite books about gratitude, which is a tiny little book called Gratitude, written by Oliver Sacks. It's a tiny little book. It's really easy to get through. If you can read it between now and next Wednesday, I highly recommend that you do, but you do not have to read the book in order to participate in the session. You do have to be registered because it's a Zoom session, and we're going to want to send you a link, and then you'll be getting, in response to that link, not only access to us during the presentation live, but we'll also be sending you the recording and our notes on the book. So even if you can't come, if you sign up for it, you will get access to both of those two things. So take a look at our calendar of events on our website. Simply do-over, do-over.me. Follow us across social media. As I said earlier, you're going to find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Let us know, interact with us, tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see us be talking about in 2021. If you have questions or comments or want to have an in-depth conversation, pick up the phone and call us. I absolutely love to meet new people. And you can reach us at 630-402-0429. Or shoot us a quick email at info@do-over.me. Again, it's always spelled do-over.me. Again, I'm Cynthia Wade, and I founded do-over.me as a tribe of people that are like-minded and who will meet you where you are, accept you for what you are, and challenge you to do the best that you can, to be the best that you can. Together, we'll work at moving you forward, and you will learn to pivot, and as a result, get where you want to go. And you will succeed not only in your career, but in life. Supporting you, it's what we do. Thank you.